when darkness begins to settle over all things and the noisy echoes of a long day slowly fade into the past, we return to ourselves in the absolute stillness of a small room. This is the moment the soul needs to be gently comforted, to be allowed to rest after the worries and heavy burdens that daily life has unknowingly placed upon our shoulders. Let me invite you to step into another space with me, a space where time seems to stand still, where only your steady breathing remains, along with the ancient whispers of the Book of Psalms. Choose the most comfortable position for yourself, whether lying on a soft bed or sitting back in a chair. Let your shoulders drop, loosen your muscles, and slowly close your eyes. Feel the warmth spreading from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. Release every thought about work, tomorrow's plans, or yesterday's regrets. Tonight, you do not need to do anything. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Simply be here, in this moment, listening to the quiet call of deep and abiding peace. In this hushed space, the Book of Psalms opens like a doorway leading into the heart of God, where every verse and every prayer is soaked in love and protection. Imagine yourself standing beside a clear stream in an ancient forest, where the gentle sound of flowing water blends with the soft rustling of leaves in the night wind. This is the feeling that arises as we begin to listen to the words of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. This statement is not merely a sentence, it is an unshakable promise of divine provision. Picture the green pastures and the still, refreshing waters. In your sleep, you are being led there, to a place without competition, without invisible pressure. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Take a deep breath in, feel the cool air filling your lungs, and as you breathe out, release every worry into the emptiness. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You are not alone in this night. No matter how thick the darkness may feel, no matter how quietly fear may surface in your thoughts, the presence of the Most High remains a steady refuge, like a lighthouse standing silently, guiding you across a vast and restless sea. Now we move into a slower, deeper rhythm with the words of Psalm 91, a song of complete protection. You are resting under the shadow of the Almighty. Picture great wings, vast, gentle, and warm, covering you, shielding you from every disturbance beyond this moment. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day. This promise becomes a solid shield, guarding your sleep from nightmares and anxious thoughts. He will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Notice how stillness is gradually filling the space around you. Each spoken line falls like a dewdrop onto the surface of your inner being, creating soft ripples that slowly disappear, leaving the water calm and clear. You are drifting into a state of complete rest, where the boundary between waking and dreaming gently fades. This sense of safety is precious. It allows your heart to slow down, aligning itself with the quiet rhythm of the universe. Now, let us reflect on Psalm 139, which celebrates God's perfect and intimate knowledge of every human soul. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise, you understand my thoughts from afar. Have you ever felt forgotten or misunderstood? Tonight, let that feeling fall away. There is one who knows every hair on your head, who understands every unspoken sigh and every deep longing you have never dared to put into words. You formed my inward parts, you knit me together in my mother's womb. Your eyes saw my unformed body. This knowledge brings a quiet and powerful comfort. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to defend yourself. You only need to be who you are, a small yet infinitely precious creation in the eyes of the Creator. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even though your hand will guide me, your right hand will. Let your mind rest in a long moment of silence. There is only your breathing and the stillness. In this silence, you can feel the rhythm of your own heartbeat, a quiet testimony to the gift of life you have been given. Psalm 42 rises again like the cry of a soul longing for peace. As the deer longs for streams of water, so my soul longs for you, O God. There are moments when our inner world becomes dry, like cracked ground under relentless heat, and the words of the Psalms become a gentle rain, reviving the tender shoots of hope. Why, my soul, are you downcast? Why are you so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God. With every breath in, receive new life, and with every breath out, release all resistance. Peace is not the absence of storms, but the stillness found at the very center of the storm. Tonight, no matter how the world outside may turn and shift, within this room, within this soul, peace alone reigns. As the journey through the night continues, we listen to Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the mountains, where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip, and he who watches over you will never sleep. There is deep comfort in knowing that even when we surrender all control and drift into sleep, an eternal watchfulness continues to guard us. The Lord is your shade at your right hand, the sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. Shade in the darkness may sound unfamiliar, yet it is a powerful image of protection from unseen influences around you. You are being wrapped in a cocoon of sacred light, where only the vibrations of love and healing are allowed to reach you. Let the rhythm of these prayers become a wordless melody, carrying you deeper into the memory of true rest. Psalm 63 reminds us of the sweetness of seeking God in the night. On my bed I remember you, I think of you through the watches of the night. Because you are my help, I sing in the shadow of your wings. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me. Can you sense that hand? It is not a force that compels, but a gentle support, like a mother lifting her child into her arms. This closeness dissolves every trace of loneliness. Night is no longer a symbol of fear or darkness, but a soft velvet curtain, shielding you from the harshness of artificial light and noise. In this darkness, sight rests while listening and feeling awaken, allowing you to connect more deeply with your spiritual self. We return now to Psalm 4, a perfect prayer before closing the eyes. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. These words bring all striving to a gentle end. You are no longer trying to think, no longer trying to understand. You simply melt into the presence of God. Feel the pleasant heaviness of your body, as if you were sinking into a soft, floating cloud. Every worry about finances, relationships, and health is laid down at the feet of the Almighty. He will take care of everything. Your only task now is to rest. This rest is an act of faith, a complete surrender. As you sleep, your body begins its quiet work of healing, cells are renewed, the mind is cleansed. The words of the Psalms become the catalyst for this gentle and miraculous restoration. In this vast stillness, let Psalm 130 rise like a cry from the depths, yet filled with hope. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord, Lord, hear my voice. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key that opens the door to deep and peaceful sleep. If today you spoke carelessly, acted imperfectly, or harbored negative thoughts, offer them all to God. Forgive yourself as He has forgiven you. Do not carry guilt into your dreams. Let your heart become as light as a feather. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, more than watchmen wait for the morning. And while waiting for the dawn, allow yourself to be nourished by the night. Night is when seeds quietly take root beneath the soil, when the stars shine most brilliantly in the sky. Continue to relax, allowing your breath to settle into its own natural rhythm. Psalm 147 praises the one who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He determines the number of the stars and calls each one by name. A God vast enough to govern the endless universe is still gentle enough to care for every small wound within your heart. You are not too insignificant to be noticed, and your pain is never too trivial for Him to attend to. Let this promise of healing sink deeply into every fiber of your body, every flowing vein. Feel warmth spreading to the places where you sense pain or tension. The presence of God is like a soothing oil, calming all dryness and irritation, restoring softness and peace. Now imagine yourself lying in the middle of a wide, open field beneath a sky filled with stars. The world around you is so quiet that you can hear the wind moving gently through the grass. Psalm 8 rises in your mind, O Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. When I consider the heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? This humility does not make us feel small or insignificant, instead, it reveals how astonishingly loved we are. You are part of this magnificent creation, cared for by the very hands that shaped the galaxies. Let that greatness rest over you, dissolving every small and anxious worry. You are being upheld by infinite power, by a love that never runs dry. As sleep begins to drift in like a gentle mist, let Psalm 103 whisper softly within you. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. He forgives all your sins and heals all your diseases. He redeems your life from the pit and crowns you with love and compassion. Allow gratitude to fill your heart. Gratitude for the day that has passed, gratitude for this breath, gratitude for this stillness. Gratitude is the most peaceful doorway into sleep. It turns what we have into enough and transforms chaos into order. Quietly repeat within yourself, I am loved. I am protected. I am at peace. The words of the Psalms now flow together, no longer separate lines, but a gentle stream washing away the debris of the soul. You are floating on a river of grace. Psalm 34 reminds you, taste and see that the Lord is good, blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. You have found that refuge, right here, within your own heart, where God dwells. Do not fear what the darkness may bring, for the light of the Lord never fades. It does not glare or overwhelm, it warms the soul from within. Let this rhythm continue, reading, resting, reading again. Each pause between the verses is a moment for grace to sink deeper. Psalm 46 declares, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. This steadiness. The final words of this night will be a gentle repetition of breath and peace. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. I lie down and sleep in peace. The Lord is with me. His angels watch over me. I am not afraid. I am at peace. I am being healed. I am loved. Let these words echo quietly within your subconscious as you cross the threshold into deep sleep. A quiet night with the Book of Psalms is not merely an audio or visual experience, it is a sacred encounter, where your soul is bathed in the living stream of eternity. Sleep gently in his embrace, and when morning comes, you will awaken renewed, filled with strength and hope. This stillness will remain with you, guarding you, and guiding you through the long night until the first light of a new day touches your window. Rest now, in everlasting peace. As darkness covers all things and the space around you is reduced to the steady rhythm of your breathing, the spirit begins a journey back to the most primal source of life itself. Together we have passed through words that soothe and comfort, yet the flow of the Psalms is an endless ocean, never depleted of its deep and layered meaning. Now allow your mind to open even wider, not to dwell on earthly concerns, but to sense the presence of the Most High moving gently through every cell, every fiber of your being. Imagine each word spoken as a drop of living water, softly falling onto the calm surface of your inner lake, sending outward circles of peace that continue without end. Together we now enter the mystery of surrender, one of the strongest and most enduring themes of sacred poetry. Surrender is not weakness or defeat, it is a courageous act of trust, the moment you realize you do not need to carry the weight of the world alone on these fragile shoulders. Psalm 62 reminds us that only in God does my soul find rest, for my salvation comes from him. Can you feel the weight of daily responsibilities slowly lifting from you? Let them fall to the floor. Let them drift away on the night breeze. In this stillness, you are simply a pure soul seeking comfort. The rest we are entering is not merely closing the eyes and slipping into unconsciousness. It is a conscious rest within grace. It is knowing that even as you sleep deeply, the one who guards you never sleeps. He stands watch over your rest, driving away nightmares and gently gathering the scattered fragments of a long and weary day. Picture a devoted gardener who quietly tends the flowers at night while the world lies asleep. God does the same, watering your soul with streams of forgiveness and mercy. Have you ever wondered why we can feel lonely in a crowd, yet deeply fulfilled when alone in prayer? It is because in solitude, the masks of the false self fall away, and we face the truth that we were created by love and for love. Psalm 139 is a beautiful love song about God's complete understanding of each of us. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. This understanding is not for judgment, but for love. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to defend your mistakes or your weaknesses. He knows it all, and He loves you precisely as you are, with every scar and every hidden pain. Let this complete acceptance wrap around you like a warm blanket on a winter night. When you feel fully known and fully loved, fear of the future naturally fades. We often worry about tomorrow because we fear we will not have the strength to face what lies ahead. Remember this, His grace is given day by day, like manna in the desert, sufficient and fresh each morning. So tonight, your task is not to worry about tomorrow, but to fully receive His presence right now. Breathe in deeply, sensing the breath of the Creator filling your lungs with life. Breathe out every residue of anxiety. In this stillness, reflect on the meaning of darkness itself. In the Psalms, darkness is not always a symbol of evil or fear. At times, it is a protective veil, a place where God hides in order to shelter those He loves from the chaos of the world. There is a sacred darkness where outward senses grow quiet so that the spiritual senses may awaken. In this darkness, you are no longer ruled by what you see or hear, but guided by the heart. You feel the pulse of the universe. You sense the warmth of mercy spreading gently within you. Imagine yourself standing on a high mountain at night, above you a sky filled with stars, below you a deep and silent valley. You feel small, yet profoundly connected to all creation. That smallness does not frighten you, instead, it brings a deep and peaceful relief. You do not need to control the world. You only need to belong to it, to be loved and to be kept. Psalm 19 rises in your mind like a symphony of the stars, the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech, night after night they reveal knowledge. Though without words and without sound, their message resounds across the whole earth. Tonight, allow your soul to join that silent chorus. Let every breath you take become a quiet act of praise, a gentle acknowledgement that life itself is an immeasurable gift you receive anew each day. When we speak of healing during sleep, we are speaking of a deep spiritual renewal. Emotional wounds, painful words, failures at work, or broken relationships, all of these leave tiny fractures within the soul. Night is the time when the divine physician begins his work. He does not use instruments or force, but love. He stitches together what has been torn. He uses peace to soothe lingering aches of the heart. Place your hand over your heart and pray softly. Lord, I entrust all my wounds to you. Please heal me as I sleep. Take away bitterness and replace it with the sweetness of forgiveness. Healing is not merely the removal of pain, it is the transformation of pain into new strength, into a deeper compassion for the suffering of others. When you wake tomorrow, you will find that you no longer carry the weight of resentment or regret. You will see the world with new eyes, eyes shaped by mercy. Notice how the writers of the Psalms often begin with lament but always end with trust and praise. This teaches us a vital lesson about the psychology of faith, and we are allowed to be honest with our emotions. If you feel sad, tell Him you are sad. If you feel angry, pour that anger out before Him. God does not desire polished words or hollow religious performances. He desires your sincere heart. And it is precisely in that honesty that transformation begins. When you pour out all your worries, you create space within your soul for Him to fill with peace. Think of a clay jar. To receive fresh water, it must first be emptied of the old. Tonight, pour out the bitter waters of anxiety, selfish striving, and constant comparison. Let your soul become completely empty, ready to receive the dew of grace at dawn. We must also remember the power of patience. In Psalm 40, the writer says, "I waited patiently for the Lord, and he turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock." This waiting is not passive despair, but hopeful endurance. Sleep itself is an exercise in patience. We close our eyes and trust that light will return. We release all control and believe that life continues. In a modern world driven by urgency, where everything must yield instant results, choosing a quiet night to listen to God is a sacred act of resistance. You are declaring that your worth is not found in what you produce, but in who you are, His beloved child. You do not need to rush to prove yourself. You only need to be present. Pure presence in this moment is the key to true happiness. As you lie here, feel your body resting against the bed. Feel the warmth of the blanket. Give thanks for these simple gifts. Psalm 147 reminds us that He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He counts the stars and calls each one by name. A God powerful enough to govern the vast universe still cares for the smallest details of your life. He knows your name. He knows the unseen fears that trouble you. And He is here to protect you. Let this truth sink deeply into your subconscious. You are never forgotten. No matter how alone you may feel, His presence remains constant and unchanging. Imagine a gentle halo of light surrounding your bed. It is the protective embrace of angels, guardians sent to watch over the sleep of the faithful. Psalm 91 gives us this unshakable promise: He will command His angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You can fully relax into this protection. There is no force, no evil, nothing at all that can intrude upon this sacred space of peace. It is sealed by divine care. Let your mind drift now into the green pastures described in Psalm 23. There is no noise of the city there, no rush of deadlines or obligations. Only the gentle whisper of the wind moving through the leaves, only the soft sound of clear water flowing in nearby streams. You are walking with the Good Shepherd. He does not lead you onto rough or dangerous paths, but guides you toward a place of safe and quiet rest. He knows what you need before you even ask. He understands what your soul is thirsting for. Allow Him to lead you. Do not try to find your own way in the darkness, for He Himself is the light that guides you. Each step you take in this imagined field brings a sense of lightness and ease. Your tired feet, worn from a long day, now touch the cool, soft grass. Tension melts away from your muscles, from your feet to your calves, your thighs, your back, and your shoulders. Everything is sinking into a state of complete relaxation. Your body feels almost weightless, as if you could gently rise and blend into the fresh night air. This is the state of true freedom, a freedom from material burdens, freedom from social expectations, and the freedom to simply be yourself in the presence of the Creator. Continue breathing slowly and deeply. Each breath in is a quiet yes. Each breath out is a letting go. A yes to His will. A yes to what life brings. A release of everything that does not belong to peace. Psalm 121 offers another powerful reminder of His constant watchfulness. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip, and He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you, and the Lord is your shade at your right hand. The moon will not harm you by night, nor the sun by day. The Lord will keep you from all harm, and He will watch over your life. Repeat quietly in your mind, the one who guards me never sleeps. This means you can rest completely. You no longer need to stay awake to protect your life. There is a greater, more loving power doing that for you. This trust is the very foundation of inner peace. When a child knows that a parent is in the next room, the child can sleep soundly even while thunder crashes outside. Be that trusting child. Do not let the thunder of opinions or the lightning of difficulties shake you. You are in the Father's house, where love is the only law and protection is an eternal promise. Reflect now on the humility of the night. At night, everything becomes equal. Rich or poor, successful or struggling, all must lie down and rest. In sleep, we return to our true nature, creatures dependent on grace. This humility does not diminish us, yet lifts us into deeper understanding. When we recognize our smallness, we begin to see God's greatness. And when we see His greatness, our problems no longer feel overwhelming. Compared to His power, every difficulty is no more than a grain of sand beside the ocean. Let the ocean of His love wash that grain away. Do not cling to your worries. Do not analyze them any further. Tonight is not for solving problems, it is for surrendering them. Imagine placing all your troubles into a small boat and pushing it out to sea. The waves of God's mercy carry it farther and farther away. You stand on the shore, watching the little boat shrink until it disappears beyond the horizon, and a vast sense of lightness fills your heart. Now there is only you and the stillness. A stillness filled with presence. Not an empty or frightening silence, but a sacred fullness. You may sense a warm current of energy spreading from your heart center throughout your entire body. It is the energy of unconditional love. Allow this light to reach even the darkest corners of your soul, the places where you may still hide shame, guilt, or unnamed pain. God's light does not wound, it simply dissolves the darkness. Like snow melting beneath the spring sun, everything heavy and negative within you is melting away and disappearing. You are becoming clearer, lighter, and more pure than ever before. Psalm 51 offers this prayer. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Tonight, this prayer is being answered. You are being renewed. Every breath you take brings in new life and releases what has grown old and weary. Let your mind listen to the melody of silence. In silence, God speaks most clearly. He does not speak in human language, but in the language of peace, hope, and comfort. Listen for that gentle, quiet voice within you. It is telling you, do not be afraid. I am here. You are precious to me. I love you with an everlasting love. Let these words become the background music of your sleep. They will settle into your subconscious, soothing hidden anxieties and preparing you to awaken with a steady and peaceful heart. You do not need to do anything. Simply be present and receive. Let your body sink fully into relaxation. The heaviness in your eyelids is a sign that your nervous system is being calmed. Do not resist it. Allow yourself to drift naturally into the space between waking and sleeping. There, the boundary between earth and heaven grows thin. You are standing at the doorway of deep rest in the embrace of God. All sounds from the outside world now feel distant, powerless to disturb you. You are wrapped in a cocoon of safety. Remember the words of Psalm 4. When I lie down, I sleep in peace, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. This safety does not depend on walls or defenses, but on trust in the Most High. Wherever you are, whatever your circumstances, this inner dwelling of peace is always available to you. It is a sanctuary no one can invade. Promise yourself that you will return to this place often, not only at night, but also during the busy hours of the day. But for now, simply enjoy it fully. Let gratitude rise within you. Gratitude for the day that has passed, with all its lessons. Gratitude for this breath, for this life. Gratitude for the people around you, and even for the challenges that have helped you grow. Gratitude is one of the greatest medicines for the soul. It turns what we have into enough, and more than enough. When you are grateful, you open your heart to receive even greater grace. Tonight, let gratitude be your final prayer before drifting into deep sleep. Imagine each word of thanks as a fragrant flower you offer to God. A flower for your health. A flower for your family. A flower for the peace you are feeling right now. Your room is now filled with the fragrance of holiness and gratitude. You are falling asleep in a garden of heaven, right here. There is nothing left to worry about. Nothing left to fear. This day is complete. Tomorrow will bring new grace and new opportunities. But now, your only task is to rest. Let your soul be bathed in the flowing stream of the Psalms, where every line is a promise of care and love. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Let these words echo gently, slowly, carrying you into a deep sleep without dreams, a sleep of complete healing and renewal. You are loved beyond all understanding. You are protected by the one who is all-powerful. Sleep now, beloved soul, in the eternal peace of God. The stillness of the night has become the sweetest lullaby, guiding you to the harbor of calm where every storm waits outside the door and only pure love remains. Allow yourself to sink, deeply, completely, into this wondrous embrace. This wondrous embrace is not a passing feeling, but an eternal reality holding your whole being right now. As you sink deeper into stillness, allow your mind to open to the true nature of spiritual rest. Rest is not merely the pause of muscles or the silence of logical thought. It is the highest act of faith. When you close your eyes and release your need to control life, you make a quiet confession that God reigns over all things. You acknowledge that no amount of worry or calculation can add even a single moment to your life. It is precisely in the gentle helplessness of sleep that the power of the Creator is revealed most clearly. He watches over the universe while you rest. He governs the stars, keeps your heart beating steadily, and fills your lungs with breath, without any effort from your will. Feel the relief of laying down the false crown you have worn for so long, the crown of believing you must carry the whole world on your shoulders. Tonight, return that authority to Him. Let Him be God. You only need to be a small child, resting safely in the arms of a loving Father. Imagine that with every breath in, you draw in the warmth of divine love, and with every breath out, you release the residue of pride, the sharp edges of resentment, and the dust of exhaustion. The space around you is no longer just four silent walls, it has become a sacred atmosphere, where the presence of the Most High settles like a soft mist. That mist seeps gently into your skin, into every cell, healing the invisible wounds left by the struggles of the day. There are wounds within the soul that words cannot reach, aches that no medicine can soothe. Yet in the holy silence of this night, they are being gently touched by the tender hand of the Comforter. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to justify your shortcomings. He knew you before you were formed in the womb. He understands the sighs you never found words for. This complete understanding is the foundation of true peace. You are fully accepted. You are unconditionally loved, not because of what you have achieved, but simply because you are you, a precious creation in His eyes. Let this awareness of your inherent worth sink deeply into your sleep. Do not allow the judgments of the world or the critical voices within to disturb this moment. The world may demand success, strength, perfection. God asks only for your presence, honest, surrendered, real. Surrender is the key that opens the door to the inner heaven. When you say, "I entrust my soul into your hands," you place yourself within an unbreakable fortress. No darkness, no fear of tomorrow, can cross the boundary of this divine protection. Reflect on the image of a seed buried deep in dark soil. It does nothing. It simply rests, trusting the earth to nourish it and the laws of life to unfold. Your sleep is like that seed. In darkness and silence, a miraculous transformation is taking place. Strength is being restored, new ideas are quietly taking root, and your soul is being prepared to stretch toward the light of a new day. You are not wasting time when you sleep. You are taking part in a sacred cycle of renewal. Gently relax each group of muscles in your face, from the forehead, where lines of constant thinking often settle, to your tired eyes that have witnessed life's many ups and downs, and even the corners of your mouth where traces of bitterness sometimes linger. Let everything soften, fluid like water. This relaxation itself is a form of worship, because it expresses complete trust in divine providence. You trust that tomorrow will carry enough grace for its own challenges, so you do not need to borrow tomorrow's worries to burden today. Each day has its own troubles, but each night also carries its own comfort. Listen to the rhythm of your heartbeat. It is the gentle knocking of eternal love. Each beat is an affirmation that you are still being invited to live, to love, and to be loved. Allow that rhythm to guide you deeper into stillness. In this room, time seems to pause. There is no past to regret and no future to fear, only the pure present moment, where you and the Creator meet in quiet communion. This is the place where all masks fall away and every role comes to an end. You are no longer an employee, a parent, a child, or someone defined by heavy responsibilities. You are simply a soul, exposed before God, and in that vulnerability lies your greatest beauty. He loves the truest core of who you are, the sacred part of you that has never been stained by the dust of the world. Let that love wrap around you like a warm cloak. This cloak protects you from the cold winds of loneliness and the shadows of self-doubt. You have never been alone, not even in the darkest hours of the night. His angels surround your bed, keeping watch over your sleep. Imagine wings of light sheltering you, driving away fearful dreams and bringing visions of hope. Their presence is a sign of how deeply you matter within the design of the universe. You are an essential note in the symphony of creation, and tonight that note is resting so it may sound again tomorrow in perfect harmony. Allow the thought of divine providence to fill your mind. Providence does not mean a life without storms, it means that even within the storm, there is a safe harbor. Tonight's sleep is that harbor. Release your grip on the wheel of life's ship and let the current of peace carry you. You do not need to row. You do not need to steer. Trust that this current knows exactly where to take you. It is the river of life, flowing from the source of all goodness. As you immerse yourself in it, weariness dissolves and every trace of dust is washed away. You are made clean and renewed. Reflect on the gentle mercy of darkness. Darkness is not something to fear. It is a velvet curtain God draws to protect our eyes from too much stimulation, so we can turn inward and discover the light within. In darkness, the soul's hearing grows more sensitive. You can perceive the whisper of the Spirit, a voice as soft as a passing breeze, saying, "Do not be afraid, for I am always with you." This voice does not arrive as sound, but as a deep certainty within the heart. It dispels doubt and fills every empty space. Let this certainty become the softest pillow beneath your head. You can sleep peacefully, knowing that the one who never sleeps is watching over you. His wakefulness is your rest. His power is your strength. Take joy in this beautiful contrast, your smallness resting safely within His greatness. This awareness brings true freedom, freedom from the anxious, grasping self. As that self fades, only presence remains, a presence that is full, warm, and radiant. You are now aligning with the breath of the universe, with the stillness of the oceans and the vastness of the galaxies. All of it rests in the hands of divine providence. Let your mind wander once more through the green pastures of the psalm. Breathe in the scent of fresh grass, hear the gentle murmur of cool streams, and feel the soft warmth of spiritual sunlight. These images are not mere symbols, they are realities of the inner world to which you truly belong. The material world may be filled with limits and suffering, but the world of the Spirit is a place of abundance and everlasting joy. Tonight, you are dwelling there. Open your heart to receive the gifts God has prepared for you in this sleep. It may be clarity for a question that has troubled you, healing for a long-hidden wound, or simply a depth of peace you have never known before. Receive whatever comes with humble gratitude. Be grateful that even when you feel unworthy, grace still falls upon you like gentle rain from heaven. Gratitude softens the heart and makes it pliable in the hands of the master artist. Even as you sleep, he is shaping your soul, smoothing rough edges, refining what is good, bringing hidden beauty to light. You will awaken not only with a rested body, but with a renewed soul, ready to love more deeply, forgive more freely, and live more meaningfully. Allow your breathing to slow, slower still. Each breath becomes a bridge between the finite and the infinite. In this unhurried rhythm, you discover the quiet majesty of life. There is nothing to rush. The night is long, and his care is endless. Let concerns about work, money, and complicated relationships fade into the background. They have no authority in this sacred space. Here, you are governed by a higher law, the law of love and mercy. Let that love flow into your dreams. If unsettling images appear, gently dismiss them by calling upon the holy name. Fill your mind with prayer, with silent praise. Bless the Lord for his faithfulness that stretches from generation to generation. Bless the Lord for his mercy, new every morning. That faithfulness is the solid rock on which your life stands, and tonight, you are resting upon that rock. You will not be shaken. You will not stumble. The peace you are experiencing now surpasses all human understanding. It needs no explanation and no condition. It exists simply because God is real, and he is here with you. Feel the warmth spreading from your chest through every limb. This is the flow of life, the movement of grace. You are being nourished from the source of all sources. Sink even deeper into this gentle forgetting. Forget today's failures. Forget tomorrow's fears. All that remains is rest in God. This is the rest the saints longed for, a foretaste of heaven itself. In this rest, contradictions dissolve and struggles find resolution. You see your life from a higher place, where difficulties are revealed as necessary low notes that give depth and beauty to the song of grace. Let your soul rise into the freedom of the Spirit. No more chains of guilt. No more weight of regret. The blood of Christ has cleansed every stain, and his resurrection has conquered all death. Tonight, you are sleeping within that victory. You are victorious because you belong to the one who has overcome the world. This peace is the reward of your trust. Hold it as a priceless treasure. As you sleep deeply, allow the promises of Scripture to sink into your subconscious. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. These words are firm anchors for the soul amid the seas of life. No matter how fierce the waves, this anchor holds fast. Drift gently upon these promises. You are now in a state of complete surrender, where personal striving ceases and divine action begins. This is a state of great power, because when we are weak, that is when we are strong in him. Let the weakness of sleep become the strength of faith. You do not need to do anything to deserve this care. It is a free gift, given from boundless mercy. Receive it with the simple joy of a child. A child never worries about whether a parent will protect them, and the child simply sleeps peacefully in complete trust. Rediscover the child within you, the most innocent and trusting part of your soul, and let that child be gently held by the Heavenly Father. Tonight, nothing can harm you. He has placed a ring of fire around you, a circle of holiness that no darkness dares to cross. You are dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, under the shadow of the Almighty. Let this protection make your sleep sweet and deep. Every cell in your body is being renewed, every nerve soothed, every thought purified. In this stillness, you are becoming new. Allow the silence of the night to teach you about the greatness of God. In silence, he speaks most clearly, about love, about hope, about a bright future he has prepared for you. Let these messages sink deep into your heart, so that when you awaken, you will carry new energy, unshakable faith, and a living love. Tonight's sleep is a spiritual journey, leading you back to your origin. You came from love, and you are returning to love. Let this journey unfold naturally and gently, without resistance, without tension, only a perfect union between your soul and the Creator. You are dissolving into his goodness like a drop of water into the ocean. You do not lose your identity, rather, it is embraced and lifted by infinity. Let this peace remain with you throughout the long night. No matter how the world may shift outside, within you there is a still lake reflecting the light of heaven. That stillness is your strength, your refuge. Treasure it, protect it, and allow it to guide you into the deepest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. You are loved. You are protected. You are blessed. Sleep now in the embrace of eternal love, under the shelter of mighty arms, and within the radiant light of boundless mercy. This night is yours, and God is here, right beside you, guarding every breath, watching over every dream, leading you into perfect rest for the soul. Let yourself sink, deeply, gently, into His limitless tenderness. All is well. All is at peace. The Lord is here, and He loves you more than you could ever imagine. This sleep is the final blessing of a day completed, and the promise of a new day filled with hope waiting beyond the horizon. Rest now, beloved child, in His everlasting peace. Every burden has been lifted. Every worry has dissolved in the light of faith. Only you and the sacred presence remain, in a wordless conversation of the heart, where every question finds its answer in love. Let this sweetness soak into the deepest layers of awareness, carrying you across the threshold of sleep into a realm of healing and perfect renewal. You are sleeping in the Lord, and in Him you find everything your soul has been longing for. This rest is real. This love is real. This presence is eternal. Surrender completely, holding nothing back, and be absorbed into the ocean of peace of the Savior. May your sleep be holy, asleep in the arms of the God who is love. All is ready, and He is smiling as you rest. Do not be afraid. Do not worry. Simply trust and rest. Tonight, you are the most blessed soul on earth, because you know to whom you belong and where you are being led. Let this peace be the final breath of consciousness before you drift into a world of heavenly dreams, where there is only light, love, and the unfading presence of the Most High. Sleep well under His providence, the most faithful companion of your soul. All is complete in love. As darkness now fully covers the space around you, and your breathing has become steady like waves gently striking the side of a boat, your soul begins to journey more deeply into the mercy of God. The silence at this moment is no longer the frightening emptiness of nothingness. It has become a sacred language, a sound without words that carries the highest truths of the universe within it. You are standing at the threshold of transformation, where the small self, burdened with daily worries and scattered concerns, begins to dissolve and give way to a greater presence. Imagine that every cell in your body is being bathed in a gentle stream of light, a light that does not dazzle the eyes, yet penetrates every layer of fatigue and hidden wound. This is the moment to contemplate the meaning of complete surrender, a state in which we no longer struggle to control or manipulate reality according to our own desires. Surrender is not giving up in despair. It is a courageous act of faith, placing your entire life, past, present, and future, into the providential hands of the Creator. Try to sense what it feels like when a child sleeps soundly in a father's arms. The child does not need to know what tomorrow will bring. It does not worry about food or safety, because the father's presence is assurance enough. Your soul is like that child tonight. In this deep darkness, it is being held by a love far greater than any human love, a love that existed before the stars were formed and will remain when time itself comes to an end. Allow this surrender to soak into your mind. Let it smooth the lines of worry on your forehead and loosen the remaining tension in your chest. We spend so much of our lives building fortresses to protect ourselves from uncertainty, but tonight, God invites you to step beyond those walls. He wants you to understand that true protection does not come from what you accumulate or the plans you design, but from belonging to Him. When you recognize that you are part of a vast and holy design, fear of loneliness and failure fades away like morning mist under the rising sun. Reflect on your own humility within the immensity of creation, a humility that does not diminish you, but lifts you into the dignity of a beloved child, heir to a kingdom of peace. God does not look at you through the lens of your mistakes or the shortcomings you constantly replay in your mind. He looks at you with compassion and sees the hidden beauty you sometimes forget exists within you. In the complete stillness of the night, listen to the whisper of the Spirit reminding you of the immeasurable worth of your soul. You are so precious that God has chosen to walk with you in every heartbeat, in every tear, and even in your quietest smiles. His presence now is like the fragrance of incense, filling the room, driving away all heaviness, and bringing a warmth that cannot be explained. You do not need to do anything. You do not need eloquent prayers or spiritual achievements. Simply be here. Simply be yourself, an honest, unguarded soul before the Almighty. Let this rest become your deepest act of worship, where your silence itself is a hymn of praise to His mercy. As you sink more deeply into sleep, imagine that with every breath in, you receive fresh life from God, and with every breath out, you release everything that does not belong to Him: anger, jealousy, sorrow, and even doubt about your own worth. The space around you is now surrounded by guardian angels, unseen yet powerful protectors, keeping watch over your sleep by the command of God. You are enclosed within a circle of holy light, a place where no dark force and no negative thought can enter. Feel this absolute safety, a kind of security the material world can never give. This is the peace that surpasses all human understanding, a peace that flows from an eternal source. In this deep stillness, open your heart to forgive yourself and to forgive those who have wounded you. Forgiveness is the final key that opens the door to the heaven of restful sleep. Do not carry the weight of resentment or regret into your dreams, for God has wiped away every debt through His boundless mercy. Let your heart become as light as a feather, ready to drift freely in the realm of sacred dreams. Remember that each new day is an opportunity to begin again, and tonight's sleep is the necessary preparation for a kind of resurrection in the morning. While you sleep, God continues His work within your soul. He is mending hidden wounds, bringing order to the chaos of your thoughts, and pouring the fragrant oil of hope into the vessel of your heart. You will awaken with a renewed spirit, fresh strength, and clearer insight into the purpose of your life. But that belongs to tomorrow. For now, all you need to do is surrender to the gentle flow of rest. Allow your awareness to slowly fade, like a candle gently going out in peace, leaving behind a soft and comforting warmth. You are floating on the ocean of grace, where every wave is a blessing and every breeze is a tender caress from heaven. Trust that even in sleep, you are moving closer to the very center of perfect love. Nothing can separate you from the love of God, neither death nor life, neither angels nor powers, neither the present nor the future. This assurance is the softest pillow on which you can rest your head, the warmest blanket covering you. Let the presence of God seep into your dreams, transforming them into lessons of love and wisdom. Perhaps you will find yourself walking through gardens of heaven, where pain no longer exists and every tear has been completely wiped away. Or perhaps you will simply experience a fullness of holy stillness, a state of perfect communion with the Creator, beyond images and concepts. Whatever unfolds in your sleep, know that you are in the safest state any being can know. This peace is not temporary, it is an eternal promise. The Lord is the Good Shepherd. He leads you to green pastures and lets you rest beside still waters. He restores your soul and guides you along the right paths for His name's sake. Even if you walk through the valley of the shadow of death or the dark nights of the soul, you will fear no evil, for He is with you. His rod and His staff comfort you. Repeat these promises in your mind until they become part of your heartbeat. Tonight, the kingdom of God is not far away, it is here, within your slowly beating heart. You are a temple of the Holy Spirit, and holiness radiates from you as you release the control of the ego. Let the weariness of your body become an offering to God, a small sacrifice through which you receive His infinite strength. You have worked hard. You have fought your own battles. Now it is time for the warrior to rest under the shadow of the Almighty. Do not allow thoughts of unfinished tasks or tomorrow's worries to disturb the sacredness of this moment. Rest now, in complete trust, surrounded by mercy, protected by love, and held in everlasting peace. Tomorrow will have its own worries, and God will be there to carry them with you. But for now, He simply wants you to sleep. He longs to restore you, both in body and in spirit. Feel the pleasant heaviness settling into your legs, your arms, and even your soul as it sinks into a deep place of peace. This sinking is not a fall into darkness, but a safe landing into the hands of love. Let the sound of silence become a quiet symphony, guiding you gently into sleep. You are surrounded by an atmosphere of holiness, where even the smallest particle carries the presence of the Most High. Allow gratitude to rise within you, gratitude for the day that has passed, with all its lessons, and gratitude for the sleep ahead, with all the healing it brings. Gratitude is the vibration that draws you closest to the heart of God. When you give thanks, you open your heart to receive even more of the grace He so eagerly desires to pour out upon you. Smile gently within yourself, a smile of true freedom, the freedom of one who knows they are loved unconditionally. You do not need to be perfect to be loved by God, because His love is what makes you whole. Let yourself dissolve, like salt into the sea, like light into open space. You are returning to your source, to the place your soul belonged even before the world was formed. This is the safest harbor, the true home of every wandering heart. Tonight, your room has become a small sanctuary, a holy place where heaven and earth quietly yet powerfully meet. Let this peace flow through your blood and bones, soothing pain, healing scars, and renewing your entire being. You are sleeping in the arms of Emmanuel, God with us. He is not far away in distant heavens. He is here, in this breath, in this silence. Allow your mind to become completely still, leaving only one small point of light, faith. That light will guide you through the long night, keeping your soul oriented toward eternal light even as your physical eyes close. You are being cherished, treasured like a precious jewel in the hand of God. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can take away the peace He has placed deep within you. Let this sleep be a foretaste of eternal rest in the kingdom of light, where darkness no longer exists, where tears are wiped away, and pain is no more. You are entering the land of promise, where every true longing is fulfilled and every loneliness is comforted. Sink into it, deeply, gently, completely. The world outside may still be noisy and chaotic, but here, in His presence, there is only perfect peace. You are an island of stillness in a restless sea. Hold on to this stillness as a priceless treasure, for it is the place where God speaks and acts. Your sleep is now a wordless prayer, a beautiful and complete surrender. Let the clouds of exhaustion dissolve, making way for a clear spiritual sky. You are breathing the air of heaven, an atmosphere filled with love and life. Let your heart beat in harmony with the heart of God, a rhythm of boundless mercy and kindness. You are not alone. You have never been alone. God was with you in the hardest moments of today, and He is still here now, guarding your sleep. He is your faithful companion, your loving Father, and the Prince of Peace. Let His presence be the only reality you sense in this moment. Everything else fades away. Only His love remains, forever. Release completely. Let your body grow light, as if carried by gentle, divine winds. You are drifting into the infinite mercy where every sin is washed clean and every soul is clothed in pure white holiness. Let this sleep restore the original beauty of your soul, the beauty of a creation made in the image of God. You are His masterpiece, and He is caring for that masterpiece with the utmost tenderness and love. Tonight, allow that love to become the healing balm for every wound of the heart. Let faith be the torch that quietly lights your dreams. You are resting in a state of perfect peace, an intimate communion beyond what words can fully express. Sleep now, little child of God. He is smiling as He watches over you, a smile filled with delight and deep affection. All is well. All is complete within His providential plan. Receive this sleep as a most sacred gift, a pardon for all weariness. You deserve rest. You deserve peace, because you are a child of the Most High. Let His gentleness sink into the very marrow of your bones, planting a hidden strength for tomorrow. But for now, do not think of tomorrow. There is only this moment, only this presence, only this love. Allow the darkness of the night to become a protective curtain, separating you from the noise of the world so you can hear more clearly the beating of your heart within the heart of God. You are dissolving into the infinite, into the radiant light of truth. Let this sleep be a journey home, home to yourself and home to God. You are sleeping in blessing, in protection, and in undying hope. There is nothing left to fear, nothing left to regret. Only peace remains, deep, abiding, eternal peace. Sleep well in the loving arms of God, who is the beginning and the end, the source of all goodness. Tonight, you have truly come home, resting within His mercy. All is peace. All is holy. May your sleep be complete in the love of God. He is here. He loves you beyond measure. Sleep now, under His wondrous providence. Amen.